This is a topic that you guys have covered an awful lot with the help of a correspondent and this is about the UK Met Office and their claims, of course, again and again, you know, hottest summer ever, hottest winter ever, this reached this temperature, you know, according to this weather station and the like. And basically the evidence is we're in smoking gun territory now. The Met Office at the UK, which, you know, where we get all our weather data, you know, this is definitive. What is the temperature on my phone? The Met Office has told me what it is. They have over 100 non-existent weather stations where they estimate temperature using what they call well-correlated neighbouring sites. But now it appears that quite a lot of these, there isn't a neighbouring site, and it would appear that they're just simply making up the numbers. Tell us first of all about these non-existent weather stations and the weather stations which are perhaps of dubious value.
Well, the dubious value is that, you know, if you want your hottest summer ever, you just use their 380 actual weather stations, which we wrote a story. We first started off a year ago when we did a Freedom of Information Act, and we found that 80% of their weather stations are in what I call junk classes 3 and 4. These are World Meteorological Organization gradings based on how near they are to unnatural heat sources such as airports and this kind of thing. 48% were in class 4, which comes with uncertainties, possible errors of 2 centigrade, and the 29% were in class 5 with 29%.
Right, so yeah, so we have a tiny increase in the top temperature, often recorded at Heathrow. Oh, 2 jumbo jets took off. What a surprise, it was extra hot at that moment. And yet the weather stations that are producing that data are simply not calibrated to actually be able to give that sort of level of accuracy. So they could be out by 5 degrees or not. I mean, that's crazy. But there's also the issue that some of the weather stations they claim to be getting information from don't actually exist. They've been closed down years ago.
This is another one. They also keep monthly averages for a whole load of stations. So if you go into their public domain website, you can type in, say, Lowestoft, and you will see a station identified as Lowestoft. Lowestoft closed in 2010. So what they then do is they give you 5 nearby stations, all of which are closed. Now, what do? They say the correspondent you're referring to is a guy called Ray Sanders, who's debating his retirement to...
Great job, Ray. Service to the people.
Those are the people. He's going through every single one of these websites, and he's pointing out the deficiencies. And he's pointing out that he's using the Freedom of Information Act, and the Met Office eventually got fed up and said they weren't going to answer anymore because they were vexatious and not in the public interest. Yeah, what Ray was doing was that he was asking for the Met Office to say that they estimate these sites like Lowestoft from well-corroborated neighbouring stations.
But so they won't say which ones they are, and some of them we know are definitely not in existence. I mean, this is an extraordinary scandal, an absolute scandal, that the scientific data that we're told is the basis of these claims could possibly be being made up. And the Met Office can clearly clear this up very simply by providing all the information, which we would implore them to do right now if they're watching.